tutorial on how to put together, how to assemble your clock to make the hour, second, and minute hand work and run correctly. I'm assuming at this point you have already made your clock, you've already made your hands. Now you need to make sure you have a flat space on the ends of these hands because you're going to have to do an angle constraint. You need to make sure you have a flat spot on the top of your clock. If not, you will need to make sure that you have a work plane there. Okay, so I'm assuming all that's already taken care of. You've got your assembly, you brought in your main part. Bring that in first so that that is the one that's locked down, that's pinned, and then bring in your three hands. So to start, we're going to do an insert. So I click on insert. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to click on the back part of my post. Again, I'm assuming you've got a post here that is the same size as the holes. I click on the back part of it like that. Now, to make everything turn the right way, I've got to click on the back of my hand. So I'm going to start with my second hand. I click there and apply, and that should get my second hand on there. I'm going to do the same thing again. Zooming in here, I'm going to get on that part right there. And I'm going to flip around. I'm going to click on the back part of my minute hand. And then apply that. And then I'll click the back part of my hour hand, click back around, and again I want to get that front part right there. So I click apply and cancel. So at this point I have everything the way that I need it to be. I've got all of my hands here. So let me just rotate that around so we're looking at it correctly. And you can see that these hands will rotate by themselves, but now I need to do some constraints. So I start with an angle constraint, and I think either of these, I'm going to pick the middle one, and now I click on the, again, see I got to get this flat spot here, and in this case I've got my work plane, and I click apply. I want to make sure this is working right, and let's just see. I've got my angle constraint. If I right click on it, drive constraint, I want to make sure I'm going clockwise. Okay, it looked like it was. Let me do that again. Clockwise, awesome. If it doesn't, it's because you inserted those on backwards and you may have to start over again. The second hand has to be right. You can fix the minute and the hour, but the second hand's got to go clockwise. So now I just do the same thing for the other two. Angle constraint, I click here, click on my minute hand, and that locks it up there, and apply. And I click here, and my plane, and I click OK. So now they're all here. Now if I just do to run them, they would run individually, and they're going to run at just some weird speed. So now I go to my parameters box. I go to parameters box, and I click this. These are my three. I'm not sure which is which, but this first one should be second, so I'm going to type SEC. The next one should be minutes, M-I-N-U-T-E-S, and the last one should be hours. We're going to find out here real quick. So we just leave that like it was. My minutes is now related to my seconds. I want my minutes to go around once every time my second hand goes around. How many times? 60 seconds in a minute. So I'm going to type here, I'm going to type SEC divided by 60. So it's going to go down 1/60th as fast. And then the next one, I'm going to type minutes divided by how many times does the minute hand go around. If you look at the Word document I've talked about, they've got it wrong. It goes around, there's 12 hours. So I want to do minutes divided by 12. I click done. I go to my second, I'm going to go to my second hand angle constraint because that's the one I want to run. I click drive constraint. I'm going to make this 6,000 to start off with, and I click play. Okay, it looks like I did it correctly because my minute hand is moving at a reasonable rate, and now you can speed that up a little bit. If I make this 10, oh, look at that. That ain't good. And you'll notice, I think you noticed, maybe you didn't, my hour hand was going the wrong way. I think if I put a negative sign in front of that one, That should reverse that. Let's try that again. Drive constraint. And now I can see that my hour hand's going in the right direction. So if the minute or the hour is going wrong, I can just put a negative sign. If the second hand's going wrong, I'm out of luck. Okay? And then what I want you to do is what I'm going to do is reset it, and I'm going to actually flip it around so that this is kind of at the top. And I'm going then to record it, I click the red button. I change this to AVI. Make sure it's going to a folder you want. I'm going to call this clock. And I click save. If this comes up, change that. It works better if it is a Cinepac codec radius one there. And let me just turn a little bit because my hands are so reflective. And then I click play. And so now it's starting at noon. It's going a little slower. Remember, anything you do to this will show up, but I'll do it here. And you can see it rotating. We'll just let this go until it gets all done here. It's, I think, about 15 minutes. It goes till about quarter after the hour at 6,000. So, again, when you're doing this, make whatever kind of design you want. I did it with a gear. I did another one with as like a desk side clock. You need to make 3 hands of different sizes so you can tell the second from the minute from the hour. And then when you get done, you bring everything in, make sure you've got holes and a post in your clock. And these instructions will pretty much do it. This is going to take a little bit longer than I thought, but that's okay. And we'll just watch it go. Look at that go. You know that's where the word clockwise comes from. It comes from because the hands go clockwise. I find some students can't tell time on a clock because they're so used to digital and looking at their phone. I think it's important that people can tell what time it is by looking at, this is what's called an analog clock as opposed to digital, where we've got our hands. And so it goes. I guess I could have done this a little shorter, but that's okay. How are you doing at this point? Got a good clock? It's going in the right direction? Good for you. Good job, people. I think we're almost there because it goes just about 15 minutes. 6,000. Oh, means that little beep means I got mail. Check that in a minute. Almost there. I think it's getting close to stopping. And then at that point we'll have a video and I'll see if it's there and see if it works. And it'll play faster than this. Remember, when it records, it always records slower. Yep. And so it comes up. You have to click cancel, otherwise it doesn't make it. I do that, minimize that, and there, and somewhere on here, I did it to my desktop. There it is. Double click on that. Let's just see what it looks like, and then we'll be done. And there you go. You could also turn the visibility off on that work plane. We'll make it look a little better. But see how nice that looks nice. You saw where I turned it right there. But that's good. So that's how you do the clock tutorial. And good luck.